Hey, everybody out there in encrypted land, me and my buddy Dirty over there tonight are going to be interviewing Kevin Estrella again because he was so much fun the first time, we had to have him on again. And tonight we're going to be talking about, of course, aliens and a little bit of intergalactic travel and maybe an alien invasion or two, plus a little bit of telepathy and some places where you can go to learn it. So, join us tonight on the Cryptid Quest Podcast. Hey, everybody out there in Cryptid Land. We are here with Kevin Estrella, Pyramids on Mars, which I'm kind of think there might be pyramids on Mars. He's having a little bit of video difficulty tonight, but we're going to keep on with the interview because the audio is good. So, Kevin, how you been doing, man?
I've been doing absolutely fantastic. Yeah, we're getting close to Christmas, and yeah, I'm looking forward to some time off and jumping back in the studio and working on a bunch of new songs. I've been sitting there calling my name. So
Heck yeah, yeah. I bet people can't wait to hear it. So, has anything new been going on in your life, or you know?
as far as like the ET world, what was the last interview that we had? Do you remember when that was?
It was like about a month ago. About
A
a
month ago.
month. Yeah.
Okay.
My producer can probably tell me a lot quicker than I can, because you know what? I'm not that great at like anything technological or time wise. I can't even tell you what I did yesterday most times.
Oh, I'm
So,
like that too. Yeah.
but I'm pretty sure it was about a month ago.
Okay. All right. That's okay.
Maybe.
That's that make that yeah that
These
I know
I
where
got
to
a
kind
I
of.
got a head shake. So
That's okay. Yeah, that gives me an idea of like where to kind of lead things because, um, you know, as as people probably well, maybe I should back up and kind of give an intro of who I
oh
am or
yeah,
what
I'm
it is
so
I
sorry.
do.
I did the same thing with you. Hey everybody out there. I'm introducing Kevin and now he's going to introduce himself. Sorry, man.
That's okay. I'm Kevin Estrella of the instrumental rock band Pyramids on Mars, but I'm also an ET experiencer and have been since August 21st, 2014 is when the journey began. And it's taking me long ways with starting with interesting synchronicities and clairvoyance and telepathy, working its way to extraterrestrial, making friends with the Ponti behind me, as you can see here, who are Zetas from the planet Pontel, the fifth planet orbiting Zeta Reticuli 2, but they reside in an information station under the Sandia Mountains in Albuquerque, New Mexico. And they work with Sue Walker, who is a telepath and has worked with many of the three-letter agencies doing a lot of psychic work for them. And they made contact with her back in 2015. I made friends with Sue back in 2016, and um, I've it's been just a continuous, amazing ride for the whole time with my contact with the Ponti. But that has also moved on to contact from other extraterrestrial star nations as well who have visited me. But in addition to this, the Ponti have taught me many things because I've been I guess you would call it a avid student and wanting to learn. And they started teaching me about telepathic communication in music, and that music can be communicated at a telepathic level. And the Ponti have been working with me since about 2017 on this. Eventually, they would also teach me about tonal language, as in the tonal language of the cetaceans and whales. And I didn't realize that they spoke not just a tonal language, but also a very deep telepathic language. And the Ponti were teaching about this as well.
The
But
whales?
yes, the whales.
Okay. Well, I know you just said oh, and that meant you had something to say. So go ahead, but then I got something to say about the whales.
Okay, all right. So they started teaching me about the tonal languages of the whales and the cetaceans, and I ended up writing a song called Naf Waffen, which actually has tonal language in it. That I was I was contacted by Sue Walker when two of the Ponti, Tani and Thera, realized that I had unzipped the download that they had given me. It took me 9 months to do it, and they heard me telepathically 2,000 miles away playing on my guitar a tonal language, and they said, "You accessed it. You did it. You did it." But then after I wrote the song, and I listened to the song, and the melody that I was playing actually had a translation saying, "Do you hear me?" And I think that was probably one of the greatest moments of my life besides the birth of my first son.
Oh wow, that is
Yeah.
so cool. So how many months did you say it took?
Took 9 months.
Oh, 9 months.
9 months.
9 months. At first, I thought you said 59 months.
No, no, 9 months. It's
Nine
still
months.
9 months because that was a
Oh,
long time
that
to
is a long time.
access a
I,
download.
I am not, discounting it or saying poo poo on it because it's only not, no, that 9 months is a long time. So, quick, I know, kind of off topic, but you're talking about the whales and how they have this, uh, um,
Telepathic tonal language.
tonal, telepathic tonal. So basically, are you trying to say they can make sounds and, with those sounds, they can put thoughts in,
There, there is translations to their language,
okay,
actual translations. So the sounds that they make, they're actually speaking. They actually
okay,
are speaking.
okay,
And another thing that we learned from the Ponti, um, there is about, I think they said on average about, I can't remember if they said, I think they said like 76 extraterrestrial nations visiting the Earth on a daily basis, different types of nations, and at least 23 of them are aquatic star nations, and they don't care about humans at all. They're not here for the humans. They're here to visit and talk to the whales. So that's how important the whales are.
so okay. I'm gonna stop you for a minute because I heard the most, and I know this is a little bit off topic, but still on topic. But it's something that blew my mind when I heard it. Scientists were out. They were investigating or basically recording and writing down the encounters of killer whales, and the killer whales were on a hunt, and there was a seal on a block of ice. The killer whales did their maneuver where they knock it off with a wave.
Yeah. Yes.
And the seal, and the scientists observed this, and it blew my mind when they talked about it. But the seal, instead of jumping back up on the ice, was hot tailing it through the ocean out into the open water, which is exactly what the killer whales wanted. But a humpback whale got right into the path of the seal, flipped over on its belly. The seal jumped up onto it to protect it from the
Wow.
killer whales. And then they said when the seal started to slide off, it would the whale was pushing it back up with its fluke back onto its belly and laying
Wow.
on its back. But more important than that, the next story I heard involved a gray whale and a gray whale calf, killer whales, and a humpback, which I don't know if the humpbacks, what the difference is between humpbacks, but the killer whales came in and were attacking the calf, and how they, and this is morbid, and I hate it, but I mean, I know life's life, but in order to eat the calf, they had to kill it, and they were trying to drown it. And the mother gray whale was trying to protect it, couldn't do it. They ended up drowning the calf. But the crazy part is, to me, is a humpback came in and started circling around. Even though the calf was dead, they succeeded in killing it. The mother gray whale took off. The humpback stayed back and was protecting it. And then I think they said within like 15, 20 minutes, there were 16 humpbacks that created a circle around this dead calf to keep the orcas from getting to it. And that had to be through communication.
That had to be through telepathy or
Exactly.
or communication through language.
Exactly. So, and I didn't mean to cut you off, but man, when you said that, I'm like, this is resounding with me. I've heard this.
Yeah.
So, I'm sorry. Carry on, brother.
That's okay. Yeah, I know that the whales communicate, and an assignment that was given to me back in 2019 or 2018, which I still haven't done yet, but it was given to me. Part of the tonal language download, Tani knows my love of J.S. Bach, the composer, and some of the most complex music that Bach writes are known as fugues. And a fugue is basically, it starts off with a melody, and then it will then kind of like the same melody will be played with, it's usually played on like on an organ or something like that, or a harpsichord.
Mm-hmm.
And so then the left hand will start playing the similar melody but in a different key, and then matches, and then the other hand it kind of starts moving on to somewhere else, and then it's kind of like then it does, and then triples over top of itself. So it's like it's multi-layering the same melody in different ways over top of each other. It's very hard to explain. It's very difficult to play, and one of the most complex music to do. But they gave me basically, it was a pod of 3 whales that were basically doing exactly that and sharing a story and telling a story, and then one would jump into the next one and the other would jump in with the other. And they wanted me to like write a song about it, basically, kind of do the exact same thing of taking this fugue of the whales and doing something with it. So I still haven't done anything with it, but it's a project that they've given me.
That is so cool. So do you have a name for it yet, or do you have to complete it before you have a name?
The name will probably come after I've finished writing it, or sometimes it just comes, it'll come sometimes even before I've written the song. So
I've got you. It'll just be that moment, and you'll just know it.
I'll know it. Yeah.
Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah. I haven't figured it out yet, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah. Well, I got faith in you, brother. I mean, your music's really cool, and I know it comes from somewhere. And
Edge of the Black comes from the Edge of the Black.
Edge of the Black.
Yes, that was what was taught to me by the Ponte.
That makes
very
sense.
Interesting. It's very interesting because UFO researcher Grant Cameron, when I first initially met him in 2015, and he was doing his presentation on musicians and consciousness and how musicians seem to get these downloads of songs, where the songs come out of nowhere, and it's almost like the musicians aren't even writing they don't even remember writing the music, and they end up becoming #1 hits. And then the Ponte, many years later, were describing the exact same thing of the creative process, which they called going to the edge of the black, where basically, as they said, go to the edge of the black of the universe where nothingness and everything exists, turn around and wait for the next song to be sung to you. And then through there, you basically you are working with the collective consciousness in writing the music together. So then you're putting your interpretation and your emotional energy and you're potently into it, and the ripples and amplify your emotional portion. and sing the song with your heart, with working with the collective consciousness, and you become a co-writer with the universe. Once you let go, basically, all you have to do to write a song is get out of the way.
Wow. Yeah. I've never tried that, but my brain's always a jumble mess, so I'm only good at talking.
Oh, by the way, I'm not sure if you know, but my video totally knocked out about 15 minutes
Oh
ago.
yeah. I got a little dot on the screen that like
Yeah,
vibrates when you talk.
yeah. Okay,
It's
yeah.
all
You
good,
see that
man.
video.
It's
Okay,
so
yeah.
good. Carry on, onward and forward, brother.
Okay, cool.
Hey, and you know
So
what? After what you just said, it makes sense because you're at the edge of the darkness.
exactly, it does look like the edge of the black. That's funny. So when we were talking about one of the last things that the Ponte have been working with me this summer, I went to visit Sue Walker this summer, and I needed to talk to Commander Tilcomb and Tani, and it was a very important meeting because I was saying I really need to get my telepathy level up to the same level as Sue Walker. And so they said, "So you want teachers?" And I said, "Yes, please." And they said, "Done." And I was like, "Really? Just like that?" They said, "Yes, from July until September, you will have several of us as teachers, and we'll be teaching you at nighttime. And eventually, you will begin to start to hear your neighbors telepathically. Do not be alarmed. It's totally natural. And then eventually, you will be able to differentiate our voices and hear us." And so it was it was mid-August when I would be sleeping and I'd wake up in the middle of the night around 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning in the process of just going back to sleep. And I'm in that alpha theta state where you're half awake, half asleep. You're not conscious, but you're not dreaming. It's
Yeah.
a middle stage. And then all of a sudden I started hearing things. I would hear a ball bounce or a ball drop. I would hear somebody's curtains banging against a window on my left-hand side. I would hear conversations, and it was like these flashes were taking place. Or sometimes it was visual, where I was seeing through somebody's eyes. Like some guy was like in some, it looked like a lobby bar of a hotel, and he's stepping down from this 3 steps to meet this lady, this Asian lady wearing a red dress, and she's underneath this lamp, and I saw her make eye contact with him. Or I see somebody looking at their phone, and I could see a message they're reading. All these flashes were happening, and I'm going, "What the heck is going on? Am I dreaming?" But no, I realized afterwards, no, I was telepathically tuning in to people. I don't know where they were. They could have been like in the same city as me. They could have been maybe in a different city, but I was tuning into people and seeing all this stuff or hearing things telepathically. It was amazing. And then one morning, as clear as day, because I know that Tani, my Ponte teacher, Sue says that her voice sounds like actress Judi Dench. They're very British proper sounding. And I heard as clear as day, I heard Tini say to me, every morning and every evening, practice it, referring to what I was doing.
Yeah.
Practice listening to people's conversations telepathically. And so then I went on to Twitter, and that day, I think it was September, oh, I have it written down, Wednesday, September 4th. It was 4:54 a.m. Mountain Standard Time when I heard her voice. I wrote that down. And so I went on to Twitter, and I just messaged saying, "Hey, guys, I've been hearing my neighbors telepathically for the last several weeks. And then this morning, I just heard in the Judi Dench voice, every morning and every evening, practice it." Was that Tani? And so then I think it was Kit or Mim, one of the Ponte, responded to me about an hour later saying, "We were placing bets when you'd be contacting us."
Who won?
Apparently, one of my Pyramids on Mars groupie girls fans,
Oh,
known as Las Estrellitas. So,
perfect.
yeah. So they said that she won, and that definitely that was Tani's voice, and she said she's very proud of me that I'm learning how to differentiate my thoughts from the telepathic thoughts that I'm receiving. And so that's what I've been working on. And I'll explain a little bit more about what that process is and how I'm doing it, so people can do it as well as at home.
Well, I was going to say that would be great. I mean, Sue. Of course, I told you I interviewed Sue, but she
Yeah.
told us about the page to go to,
Yes.
and
The telepathy primer.
correct. But I want to hear what you have to say.
Yeah, because like I'm a working student, and I've read the primer, and I've read a lot of the stuff that the Ponte have said, but it's like now all of a sudden I'm getting it. I'm piecing it all together. It's making sense. It's like it's like sometimes you'll have pieces of a puzzle, and you're supposed to do this, and you're supposed to do this, and you're supposed to do this, and you never really understand it until it all comes together in one unit and works together. And when the pieces come together, all of a sudden, boom, I'm hearing people. And so, there's a lot of pieces to what would you have to read the primer to first understand about your own personal learning style. Are you somebody who is more of a visual person, or are you an audio person, or are you a kinesthetic, like touch feeling kind of person? Many of us are like mixtures, like we're kind of like Heinz 57s, where I learned a lot from visually and I learned a lot from audio, and so then that will become your more primary telepathic communication style, where you'll be able to pick up on things a little bit more. So if you're more sensitive to frequencies, you might be because like you do so much talking, you might be more sensitive to audio frequencies and be able to start to hear things that are not your own voice. So the other part to it is it's the brainwave state of getting into an alpha state. So an alpha state is a slower it's a slower wavelength that you get into, say, when you're playing an instrument, or reading a book, or say, like for me sometimes is playing a video game, where like I get into an alpha state. And when your brainwaves slow down, that's when you're in your highest telepathic state. And apparently the Ponte are always in alpha. I didn't understand this.
Really?
They're always in alpha. And so it's a matter of us training our brains to get into that slower state, that slightly sleepy state, of that dreamy state. And here's the other key to it. It's learning how to silence your mind, in the sense of picture your mind like a pool, a still pool of water, with getting rid of the ripples. So the ripples are your thoughts. When you're able to then quiet your mind through meditation, practicing meditation, when you're able to quiet your mind, getting those thoughts that are always through your mind, which are ripples, you have to learn how to silence those ripples till you can get it to a still pool where you don't have any thoughts. And then what will happen is that, just like what happened when I was playing a video game, all of a sudden it was like this bolt out of the blue came. And it was a complete thought that was not mine. And I was playing a game online, and they said, why don't you slow down your feet movement so that you're not pitter-pattering all over the place to give away your position to the other players? That whole phrase that I just told you came in a download, boom, like that. This whole thought, like that. And I was like, that wasn't my thoughts.
Yeah.
That was them.
So,
and I never done that before, and I started doing it in the game, and I improved my gameplay. I couldn't believe it. I never thought of that. It was not my thoughts.
So the question I was getting ready to ask earlier is, like, when you got a brain like mine that never stops, how do you train it to stop?
Meditation.
Okay.
It's meditation, meditating more, and learning how to calm your mind to stop thinking all the time. It's training. It's just like learning how to ride a bike. You'll eventually get there. we all were at that point where we didn't know how to ride a bike, and then one day we were just pick up
Oh
a
my
bike
God.
and we were
Oh,
able to ride.
dude, you just blew my mind. Blew my mind. Because when you first started talking about this, and I wish that I said it now, but I was going to ask you, is it like riding a bike?
Telepathy works.
You stole that thought from my head.
Telepathy works. Who
Huh?
knew? Telepathy works. Who knew?
Dude, you took it from my head because I actually thought that when, and I know everybody out there is like, you're just making that up. I don't care. I'm being for real because I had it in my mind. I was going to ask you that. I'm like, so it's kind of like riding a bike, because at first you don't know what the hell you're doing, but then eventually you get it and you're riding all around town.
Yeah, you don't understand what you're doing. You don't know how you did it. You don't know how you're balancing on two wheels,
Exactly.
but all of a sudden, one day you get it. Hey, this is the sec. Do you remember the
That's so
first
cool.
interview? Do you remember the first interview when you
Yep.
wanted to test my telepathy?
Yep, we did.
And
We did the numbers, and
the
you
number thing,
nailed it.
and I said number 4.
Yep.
And
So
you
I'm
said
like,
that
no
was it.
way. I know. But the only bad part about that was I didn't write it down or do anything constructive with it, and I'm like, damn it, he said it, and now I got no proof besides what's in my head. But I'm telling you, people out there, that wasn't a lie. I had the number
No.
4 in my head, and I had a
did.
bicycle in my head just now.
There you go.
I did. No bullshitting. Oh, and let it ride like a bike.
Like a bike.
Like a bike.
Yeah.
So I didn't mean to cut you off, man. Keep
That's
going.
okay. That's okay. Yeah. So like these are the things that I was learning. I didn't, subconsciously, I didn't realize what I was doing when I slowed my brain waves down and was quieting my mind. I didn't realize that I was quieting my mind early in the morning. And then all of a sudden, once I started quieting my mind, that's when I started seeing those images or starting to hear things because I shut the F up. That's all I had to do was give my mind, learn how to turn my mind off to be able to receive and then start to differentiate what are my thoughts and what are other people's thoughts. The other analogy that they give, I just sent it to you telepathically, the image. What did I just send you?
I'm gonna be honest with you, and I'd hate to be wrong, but for some reason I got an image of a car in my head.
Okay. It was actually a mailbox.
A mail block?
A mailbox. Yeah.
Oh, mailbox.
Yes.
I didn't have a mailbox. I was thinking of a car.
Okay. Okay. A mailbox. And basically, it's like
Here, let's
the
try
thoughts,
it again.
the thoughts that are in your head is like you taking the mail out. But now the mailman has come and they put new mail in there. Don't throw out the new mail, before, without, checking
Opening
for
it.
it first, without opening it. So they kind of give an analogy of that, of checking the mailbox. Basically, when you silence your thoughts, other thoughts another thought may pop in your mind, which is not necessarily your thoughts. It's somebody talking to you.
Okay. And I don't want to poo-poo you trying to do that because my mind hardly ever stops. So even when we're talking, my mind's going. So honestly, the thoughts you might be putting in my head, maybe you've taken them from my head. Because I'm the one that had the number 4, and I'm the one
That's how it would have happened. Is like I would have got the thought from you.
So I think right now you're taking my thoughts. I haven't learned how to take your thoughts yet.
Yeah.
So
It's all practice.
It's all practice.
Practice, yes. Yeah.
Man, do I really gotta? I'm tired of school.
Well, the telepathy primer. If people want to have contact with ETs, read it and practice half an hour each day. It's great if you can find a partner to work with and then play fun telepathic games. We used to do this. We had a telepathy group online through the Ponte. We met on Twitter through Sandia, and so there was like 5 or 6 of us who would get together on Sundays and each of us was in a different part of the world. Some people were in Europe, some were in the United States, some were in Canada, and each of us would take a turn um, holding an object and just focusing our thoughts on that object, and then each of us, then we had 3 minutes to basically draw what it was we thought that they were looking at, and
All
we
right.
were amazed at what the details were of what we were picking up from these objects.
Okay, hold on. We're going to try this real quick. Again, even though I'm still not poo-pooing because you've already done it twice, my mind's blown, and I know my brain's broken. But
Great.
I'm gonna send you an image.
Oh, great.
Can you figure it out?
I'm getting it's red and green.
It's beige.
Beige, okay.
Unless you're talking about my salad behind what I'm looking at, because it's red and green. Which might be because I'm holding the image right in front of my salad bowls that I ate for dinner. I'm sorry, I'm not supposed to have it on the table, but
that's the thing. This is exactly what happened with our telepathy group, where we were picking up on things around the objects, or different parts of the objects, or seeing the object from a certain angle.
I got you.
And we end up drawing really strange things, but then afterwards they would explain what it was what it was, and we realized that we were picking up on certain features of the items.
Okay.
And some of us were very, very close on what it was we were seeing.
Let's say before we get off, I'll explain exactly everything. If something pops in your head and you want to say it, But I'm already impressed because the bicycle thing threw me off. The first time we spoke, the number 4 threw me off because you got that, and I'm like, man, that's pretty damn good. I mean, granted, if you ain't right every time, if you're right like 50% of the time, we're not even trying, and like I said, my brain's broken, so.
Well, my brain is really fried right now. It's been a really rough couple of weeks with the work.
I'm sorry, man. Yeah, I know what that crap's like.
Yeah.
So it's all good. I ain't gonna test you no more. It's just fun, and you're right. Something like that would be fun. Getting involved in a group where everybody's like-minded and you're actually trying to do that stuff. I'd be interested in getting in something like that.
You can even do it with a friend, and let's say that you guys have your pictures, and you're looking at a picture, and then your friend writes down what they think that you're looking at, or they try and relax and clear their mind and get the thoughts that are coming from you, and then they write down what the picture, what they think that is that you're.
Damn. So the Pontier are gonna hate me now because my sense of humor is broken.
Oh, they have a sense of humor.
That's what Sue said. Yeah.
They like pot. They have fart jokes too.
Do they?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's awesome.
Oh yeah. No, like I could tell you, one of the Twitter followers, from one of the very first Twitter followers, he had some visitors, PETA and Grayson, and he saw PETA, and he decided to let one rip, and he let one rip really badly, and then later on, one night, it was like PETA farted right in his face. Just let one rip right in his face, and he said all he could smell was like garlic, and it was just grossed him right out.
Garlic? Well, that ain't so bad.
Like a garlic fart, though. It was like a garlic fart.
I don't know about that.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to opt out.
and so so they've done pranks like that too. They don't do that. They don't do that with me. They just leave like handprints all over my place, over my condo.
Nice.
Oh, with my whole basically it's equivalent of toilet paper in my house. They've done it totally in handprints made of chalk all over my white walls.
So you say in chalk?
Chalk. That's right. Chalk.
So how many digits do they have?
4.
4. Okay, because I know
Yeah.
Sue was saying some have 4, some have 3.
No, they have 4 fingers.
Okay.
And their fingers are much longer than ours. So if look at your hand and then look at your pinky and picture your pinky twice as long as it is.
Yeah.
And then all the rest of your fingers are match the length of your pinky. That's how long their fingers are all the same length.
Holy cow. And 4? They don't have a so.
They really don't have a thumb. No, they're kind of missing a thumb,
Huh.
and it's not a very functional thumb, at least. But yeah, but their fingers, the length of them are like if you look at your pinky, double the length of your pinky, and then the rest of your fingers are all the same length as your pinky with 4 fingers. That's what their handprints look like, and they've left those handprints at my place, a lot of them.
So for one, that's scary, and for two, if I had fingers like that, it'd be hard to find a date, even though I'm already married. So, and I would never cheat on my wife. So don't get it crazy, people. I'm just saying, it'd be hard to meet a woman if your fingers were like this.
Well, I'm still hoping to one day have a Ponte girlfriend, so we'll see.
There you go. So it was so. I remember the last episode. Was that Sue that drew the picture for you?
Yes.
Was that just a dream? And because I think if I remember it right, it wasn't real, or was it a dream, or did we ever discern that?
In regards to what?
The picture she drew. Didn't you just see that as a dream? The
The blue.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh no, she was she visited. She
Oh,
was
she
visiting.
did visit. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay. I thought I was.
Well, she visited, but it was in a lucid dream state.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. That's where I
Yeah.
got confused. Okay.
Yeah, a lot of these visitations take place in a lucid dream state, and some people say, "Well, you're just dreaming." No, I'm not. It's totally different.
Okay.
This is totally different.
So
'Cause you
was she Ponte?
no,
No.
she's Arcturian.
Arcturian.
She was
Is
an
that one of the
Arcturian.
reptiles?
Arcturian height. No, from Arcturus.
Okay.
So she had blue skin. She looks very much like you've seen the movie Avatar, right?
Correct.
Okay, the Na'vi.
Yeah.
She was a spitting image of the Na'vi, but less the hair.
Okay.
Looked
So-
exactly like the Na'vi.
I remember all that, but for some reason, in my mind, I thought she was like partial reptilian. But see,
No, because she had cat eyes. She had a split. She had eyes like a
that's
cat.
probably what made me think that.
Yeah, that's why she's a hybrid.
Okay.
So she's like, I think she's like part Lyran, so like cat people. So she had these cat eyes, but she had, like she looked like almost like a gray. So she had like a large head, no hair, but her skin was all blue.
Yeah.
Her eyes were amber, just like the Na'vi, and they were like cat eyes. So they had a slit. Man, they were gorgeous eyes. If you ever see a human being with like cat eyes, it's unbelievable. But her eyes were bioluminescent, so they slightly glowed in the dark.
Oh wow.
That was a wild thing. That was really cool.
So have you been able to have any sort of contact with her since then? I mean, I don't
Yes.
think I asked you that last time.
Yes, I did. About maybe 2 years ago, she pulled me up in my astral body up into her ship, and I visited her in my astral body. That was quite an incredible experience. So this was around the time. I think this is around the time. Yeah, when I just shortly after I had learned to astral travel and started to astral travel and leave my body, consciously. And then one time, she just pulled me up in my astral body, and I found myself on this massive mothership. The ceilings were like cathedral-like ceilings. They were very, very tall. It looked like almost like Roman columns molded to the walls on the side, but they were still kind of slightly attached. They were white. And then I remember I was being shunned down this hallway very, very fast, like flying down this hallway at hundreds of miles an hour. And I could feel the wind blowing past me. It was so fast that I closed my eyes. I was just getting too dizzy. So I don't know how far I went. And then I stopped, and then I'm in front of this door, which was like probably 30 feet wide, and it looked like a huge blue ruby. It looked like a diamond kind of thing, but it was blue, like a crystal. And then it split open from the middle and went to the sides. And then there was a room, like a control room, ahead of me, and the walls were a lot narrow. And then I could see three beings who were about the height of the Ponte, which is like probably like the height of a 10-year-old child. And they were all wearing white uniforms, like white bodysuits, very tight, with this kind of almost like this upside down triangle symbol on their chests. And they all had blue skin, like Flaley. Her name was Flaley. And then I went into this room, and then one of them walked up to me. Now, when she walked up to me, her face was blurred out. I couldn't see her face. She hid her face. And then I gave her a hug, and she gave me a hug back, and I knew immediately that was her.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like that, I was back in my body, back in bed.
So, and you're talking about astral astral planing,
Astral travel.
astral travel. So when people talk about their souls leaving their body and they have the silver cord, is that
Yes.
same difference?
Same difference.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
That's what I thought it was, but this
Yeah.
is I'm a new learner, a new student in all of this.
Yeah.
So every time I talk to somebody about this, I'm learning a little more, and I'm trying to like connect dots between people. So
Yeah.
thank
Yeah,
you.
we're always attached to our bodies by, they call it the silver cord. So you can never astral travel and then not return back to your body. That won't happen. You'll eventually come back to your body, but you can leave your body.
But I've heard that if something happens to cut that cord, that you can't return to your body. What do you know about that?
I've never experienced anything like that ever.
Okay. Well, I'm not saying you experienced it, but like I said, I'm a student
I've
in all
Yeah,
of
I've
this.
never had problems. I've never had problems leaving my body, and then I'm able to snap back into my body just like waking up.
So, and I guess you know what? Honestly, if I got to think about it logically, if your silver cord's cut and you ain't coming back, who the hell you gonna tell?
Yeah, you wouldn't be around to tell.
I mean, I don't know. This is things I've heard, and I'm not discounting anybody, but sometimes my mind thinks about things a different way. And when you said that, you're like, I've never had that problem. Well, yeah, exactly, because you're here and I'm talking to you. So if somebody
Yeah,
has had that problem, how the hell are they going to tell me?
they wouldn't
So
be able. I think they'd
exactly,
be dead. They'd be
okay.
dead, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so maybe I'm completely wrong. Well, I don't, not that I'm completely wrong. I'm giving you info that I've heard from other people
Hmm.
because, I try to throw everything out there. Everything is a possibility. You got to think about everything. And that's where that term silver cord came into my brain because when you talked about the astral travel, I was like, man, I know I've heard of that, and I'm like, I think there's a link to it, but it pulls you back. So, or
Yeah.
maybe it's like if you die while it happens, your soul don't come back. I don't know. I don't know.
Well, people have had near death experiences where they have left their body and gone places, and then they were told they had to go back, and then they were snapped back into their body again.
Yeah. Well, man, I gotta pick me up one of them stories. But don't do it. Don't do it, Kevin.
No, 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 no. I have not had a near death experience. I've experienced astral travel, and I can tell you I have zero fear of death because I know that these bodies we just borrow. We are not these physical bodies. However, what's really cool is that when you're in your astral body, it feels exactly the same as being in your body. There's really no difference. The only difference actually is that you're not as susceptible to pain.
I was gonna say, is my back still gonna hurt?
No,
Okay,
no,
I'm good then.
you'll feel no pain. And if somebody tries to hurt you, the pain is not like it's just an uncomfortableness. It's like it's kind of more like an irritation, but it doesn't hurt you.
So, so that's so when you say astral, you're out here. Somebody tries to hurt your astral body or your physical
Yeah,
body.
I've
Okay.
astral body. I've had a few experiences where it was like I was meeting with some people, and I think that they were not necessarily good people.
Mm-hmm.
So, like one time, I remember I left my body and I was being examined by someone. I couldn't see them, but I could feel myself. I was like almost like in a fetal position, and I felt them basically turning me around and looking and examining me. So they turned me upside down. And the funny thing is, like you're oriented. You can feel, when you're upside down or when you're right side up. Okay, your orientation is very there. So they kind of turned me upside down, and then I heard them walk away, and then I heard them running towards me, and then they kicked me, like boom, kicked me, and I went flying, boom, and I landed back on my body again. They physically kicked my astral body, and I went flying, but it didn't hurt. It didn't hurt me. It just was a mild uncomfortableness,
Like pressure or something?
like pressure. Yeah,
Huh.
but the kick like that should have like broke my ribs, but
Yeah,
it didn't.
well, imagine if it kicked you all the way back from heaven to earth.
Pretty much. Pretty
Yeah,
much.
yeah.
Yeah, pretty
So
much.
yeah,
Yeah.
I imagine that wouldn't be the best kick ever, but thank goodness it didn't happen while you're in your physical body.
No, no.
So
But go ahead.
I was gonna say, so how much control do you have over what you got going on when let's say you're in your astral body and like you said, you're turned upside down. Somebody's coming up to kick you. I mean, do you have the ability to try and like block it or do anything about it or do you even care?
Oh yeah, no, because like I ended up after like when they kicked me, I went back into my body. I woke up, and then when I went to sleep, I ended up back in my astral body, and um, they were like chasing me, but I was flying through clouds, and it almost felt like they were like a dragon behind me, and I'm flying through the clouds as fast as I can, trying to get away from them. It was really odd. It was really weird because I thought I was going into a dream, but I ended up instead of going into a dream, I ended up back in my astral body being chased by the entity that or thing, whatever it was that had kicked me. And
That'd be
then,
Go ahead. I'm gonna
and
say
then I
that right
eventually,
there would have made a great song.
what should I call it?
I don't know. The Astral Dragon.
Ha! Yeah,
So anyway, I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm just thinking, I know you're a musician. I'm like, wow,
yeah.
this, that. I'm like, that'd be a cool song. That'd be a cool video.
I've written a lot of dragon songs. The last song I wrote was called Dragon's Blood, actually.
Oh, I love dragons.
So
That's one of my favorite things.
yeah, me too. I have a an interesting connection to them. But anyway, so yeah, so like a lot of these ET visits that I've had are in either lucid dream state or sometimes in the astral realm as well. And I had an interesting one about a month ago, and I ended up in my astral body, and I was visited by this woman who looked like a cross between Miss Piggy and a Klingon.
Oh my gosh. I
So
don't.
she was like as big as a human, but she looked like a pig. She looked like Miss Piggy,
Yeah.
but her forehead had that Klingon, you know, plate with the ridges.
I think I
Her,
dated her. Just kidding.
serious, yeah. But yeah, this extraterrestrial, she showed up like that, and I didn't want to be rude, but I was thinking, my God, you're ugly.
Oh no.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
was.
well, I mean, I probably thought the same thing.
Yeah, but I feel bad about thinking like that because you can't be prejudiced against Star Nation. She can't help the way she looks, and it was just a very interesting visit, But she looked, there's going to be a lot of different extraterrestrial beings that we're going to meet with when official first contact happens, and we're going to be interacting with different Star Nations. So we need to get over our prejudice as humans against our own brothers because we have differences, sure, but there's so many differences of people throughout the universe who are going to look much different than us, and we can't be judging somebody based upon physical appearance or that. We have to get over these prejudices because we have big boots that we got to put on very soon.
Yeah, no. That I I I agree with that, and I think they call that the star six pack. That's how you get over it.
Star six pack.
Yeah,
What does that mean?
intergalactical six pack, a 12
A
pack.
12 pack. Okay.
12. It was a joke. It was another
Romulan.
bad joke. Damn. Wow, wow, wow. Come on. I'm not, and trust me, dude, I am not making funny. I was like, I saw a chance to drop a joke, and Dirty's probably
Well,
gonna.
I think what you meant is we need to bring Romulan ale when we meet up with them.
Romulan ale. Man, damn it. He beat me on the jokes, Dirty. He beat me on the jokes.
That's what you meant. When they show up, make sure we have a Romulan ale to bring
Romulan ale.
over.
All right, we're gonna start over. Retake. No, I'm just kidding. No, and I'm not making fun of you, dude. Because honestly, you know, the hardest part, and I think for me, when I try to wrap my brain around it, is thinking about all the different beings that are out there, and am I gonna be scared? Am I gonna be grossed out? Am I gonna be like, hey, you know? Because Sue was telling me, and that's why I brought up the reptile earlier because Sue was talking about the reptiles, and I'm like, man, I think that would scare the hell out of me, you know? If and she's like, oh, they're not all bad, and I'm like, but reptiles are scary looking, to me. I mean, cat's not as bad. So that's when you were talking about, I forget her name,
Yeah, Lyran, like cat
Lyran.
people. Yeah, cat
Yeah,
people.
that might be a little better, But a reptile, I don't know, man. But I guess you got to keep an open mind about it
Got to
because
keep
you
an
don't.
open mind because there's a lot of different, there's a lot of different human bodies out there, and we have to expand. I hate when you read all this stuff on the news right now with the government and talking about non-human intelligence. That is a very bad term because the majority of them, they are human too. They're just not Earth human. There are many different Earth like human type bodies. A human body has two arms, two legs, two ears, nose, mouth, eyes, whatever. That's a human body. And there are multiple different types of humans throughout the galaxies. There
So,
are there are so many different, thousands of species of reptilians. Um, some are good, some are bad, but it's the same with every other, extraterrestrial nation and human nation. There are multiple human nations out there as well in space. Um, thousands of human nations out there.
I mean, and most of them interact? Do most of them, I don't know, what do you call it? Copulate? Or I don't want to say the
Yeah,
dirty
yeah.
word. I
No,
mean,
we have a lot of shared genetics. I mean, well, where there's no pure race out there. Even the races that we see, they they've got a lot of shared genetics too. Genetics go around a lot. I mean, Flaley, she was part Lyran, she was part Arcturian, and I'm just guessing, but I know that the Lyrans, their home planet was destroyed a long time ago, millions of years ago, during the Draconian Wars, and a lot of them fled to Arcturus, and so the Arcturians and the Lyrans had children together. So I think that Philalia is most likely a cross between the two.
and
So
and Sue was also talking about, she said there was four types of human races on Earth before our current one.
hmm.
I don't know if she's told you this or not, but
I know about the Ea. Well, there's also the Anunnaki.
okay. Or maybe she meant four, including us.
Okay, I
Well,
think I'd have to hear exactly what she's explaining.
yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't have all the details. I just remember she was talking about. She said, because I asked her about it, and she said that millions of years ago, um, that we're not the first human race. The other ones have been here and left to go populate.
Yes, we are the fifth. We are the fifth generation.
That's okay. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, there are at least four. There have been four. Um, what do you call it?
A generation,
Extinction,
as you
extinction
said.
level events of,
Yeah.
of generations of humans. We're the fifth. That's right.
Extinction level events caused them to either.
Caused them to they by that time they had evolved to be able to star travel and leave.
And
So we have brothers and sisters who originated here on Earth. We were now in space,
okay.
and there you got the beginnings for a great series called Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah, that is great. That is. I used to love Battlestar Galactica, but
Yep.
I'm glad we're back on the same page because I mean, and honestly, eh, if you really take that thought and put it into your head, it makes a lot more stuff around us make sense. Like pyramids and, a lot of stuff that happened so long ago. And everybody's like, how the heck did they do it?
hmm
They had help.
And they keep digging up more and more artifacts and things that should not be there. Should not be there. I
Yeah.
mean, they found massive pyramids in Antarctica. They found cities in Antarctica, and they're being hidden.
Yeah.
Um, and Antarctica at one point was at the equator. How is that possible? Well, extinction level events, and the planet turned over. And the same thing is going to happen to us now. We're very close to having the same thing happen where the Earth is going to turn over 90 degrees. We're at that stage.
That don't sound fun, Kevin. I was having a lot of
No,
fun with this conversation until right now.
sorry.
That's
But that
okay.
that's also the reason why they're pushing so hard for official first contact, is because they know that we are on borrowed time right now. The sun is going to go micronova in the next between now and the next 30 years. It could be much sooner.
So, and along with the cryptid escalation, you know, um, there has been a lot more alien encounters, stories, um, and they
Mhm.
just seem to, and then I'm guessing all of this is tying into the government slowly trying to want to admit it, but they don't want to.
Yeah, yeah. It's really hard to figure out exactly where things are going, um, because on the other side they want people to learn, be more believing of ETs, but it could be it basically is for their own good because they want to play that last card that Werner von Braun warned about the alien invasion, because they've already reverse engineered ET craft. They've had that technology for 50 or 60 years. They are ready at any point to have Project Bluebeam and make a false, start a false war with extraterrestrials, and then all the money will be going into these black projects, and they'll have unlimited access to as much funding as they want to fund their new war.
So basically, what I'm getting out of this, I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, is, I mean, and I'm sure, in my head, I'm positive the government is aware of what's out there. And
oh God, yeah, but they're playing both sides.
Exactly.
They're playing both sides.
That's where I was getting ready to go with that. So they're using that card and keeping it over here under their butt, so they can be people. And then when it comes time, they pull that card out and they're like, look, and then that throws everybody into a panic. Then they can do whatever the hell they want.
Then they can do whatever they want. They
Yeah.
can, they can use their, a lot of the UFOs that they've showed on TV over the last several years, these, Tic Tacs, are actually ours.
Yeah,
they're showing our vehicles and saying, we think they're UFOs. Well, they're actually ours.
Yeah.
I mean, the ETs are out there and that's real, but the thing is that they're playing a double card. They're playing a two-carded game right now because they are trying to get people to talk more about UFOs. I got on my computer, I got MSN News, which automatically opens every time I open a new, a window.
Mm-hmm.
And they're always, every day, there's at least 3 or 4 UFO articles. Every freaking day for the last year and a half. It drives me nuts, but they're talking about aliens and UFOs.
Yeah.
Every day there's something new. I'm thinking, what are you guys doing? What is the real motive behind this educational process for the average Joe? They keep talking about aliens. There is a meaning to it because majority of people now believe in aliens. I hate using that phrase.
Yeah.
But the thing is that that's what the government wants, or not the government, I mean the black ops, so that they can then be able to use that to their advantage to then have a false flag alien invasion, and then everybody will be like, yes, give as much money as you want. We got to fight these aliens. They're going to take us. They're going to kill us. They're going to abduct us. So that's the thing that we're worried about, and the Federation is monitoring this as well. It's a very serious problem, because if they do a false flag alien invasion, the Federation has made it very clear that official first contact is canceled.
And that ain't no good for us.
They say goodbye to, trillions of dollars in interstellar trade. Say goodbye to technology trading. Say goodbye to us helping you when the sun explodes, and the geomagnetic excursion happens, and the poles shift, and billions die because of the sloshing of the oceans. We were going to help you, but now that you are saying that you've accused us of murder, see you later.
So basically, we're being placed under and not by them, but by our own people,
by our own government.
Our own government. I didn't want to say government because they might come killing me now, but that's okay. So we're basically being placed into the ultimate mind F.
Yeah.
When it comes to aliens, because, wow. I mean, that makes sense, dude. That makes sense. I mean, the more you talk about it, the more it makes sense.
Well, this is what the Ponte and the Federation have been monitoring. That's why official first contact was supposed to happen the fall of 2021. That was the end of the 50-year Desert Accord Treaty that was signed back in 50 years ago between certain governments and certain extraterrestrial nations, that no official ET contact would happen for at least 50 years, to give the governments in the world a chance to educate people on the extraterrestrial presence. That time expired in August of 2000. I think it's 2020 or 2021. And at that point, then Tilcom came on Twitter on the winter solstice and made an announcement saying that the Federation had decided to change things a bit in regards to how disclosure is going to happen. And they said they've been monitoring several things. One is the health of the planet and the health of our sun is a big concern. Kiwa Earth readiness in regards to, like they call us Kiwa, KWH, which is short for water people. That's their nickname for us humans. Our readiness for contact, and that they are still monitoring the potential false flag alien invasion. Those are the three things that they've been monitoring. So moving forward, instead of having an official big event, they're just having more and more daily sightings of UFOs. And that's why for the last several years, people keep seeing more and more UFOs and more UFOs. And now you got New Jersey with these, orbs.
The drones.
And the drones, yeah, and everything. Like, I don't know whether they're us or whether they are the ET. All I know is that the plan for since 2021 is a lot more sightings of UFOs. They're flying all the time so that they can be seen. The people will look up and start talking about them, and the conversation starts increasing and increasing. So we are moving more towards that goalpost of OFC. We are getting closer and closer. But at the same point, we have this problem with these black ops who are money hungry and want to do some bad things.
So man, you kind of depressed me a little bit, because it kind of sounds like, even though if I believe in them, which I actually do, and I believe in everything you're saying, that no matter how much I believe, or my wife or my buddy believes, that because of what the government's doing, it might not matter.
There's that possibility. It's not a, I don't want to be, sound all doom and gloom.
Well, yeah, no. We want to keep this podcast happy. I'll die with a smile on my face, trust me.
I am hoping and I'm hopeful that we're going to have a official first contact soon, because the Ponte already told me, that I'm part of it. I've been selected to basically help prepare 8 billion souls for official first contact. So it's a huge responsibility for me.
Put in a good word for me and Dirty.
Okay. We'll do. But I'm here to teach and help people, and to help them understand some of our galactic neighbors like the Ponte, who I've worked with since 2016, and I know them very well, and I follow their Twitter account every single day for the last 7 or 8 years. So I know a lot about them, and I've spent a lot of time with Sue, and she and I have done a lot of videos together, which we call OFC Talks. We've done over 100 of them. They're on her website, on her YouTube channel, and they're only like 5 minutes long, where we talk about a certain ET topic. Topic could be about talking about the Sasquatch, or it could be talking about telepathy, or it could be talking about something that Tilcom said the day before, or OFC, or there's a million topics that we talk about. Some of the topics we talked about were some of the ET wars that took place in the past on Earth, and why the Federation got involved and stopped, made this a protected planet. There's so much that Sue knows, because she converses with the Ponte all the time. Her knowledge is just incredible. And so she and I would just sit there and have these short conversations, talking about different things. And we made like over 100 videos, OFC Talks. So,
man, oh man. Oh yeah. She when I had her on, we were talking about that. Sometime in the future, I got to get to both of you on here. That'd be fun. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Well, Kevin, I'm gonna have to wrap it up, man. Do you got anything else you want to share before we go tonight?
Yeah, everybody go to officialfirstcontact.com and download the free Telepathy 101 primer.
Hell yeah.
And yeah, and if you want to have contact, that's how you're going to have contact. They'll meet you at the level that you're comfortable with. It could be you going outside and you seeing a little star moving that's moving at a different space than normal, and then you say to it blink blink, and then it flashes at you.
Yeah. So
That's
here's what I'm going to do. That's happened to you?
Yeah. No, it's happened to some of the Twitter followers, and they videotaped it, and it's on their website.
Well, and I don't know if I told you or not. Well, I know I told Sue when I talked to her, but I had a guy that I had interviewed had done that. He talked to one. He said, "Blink 3 times if you hear me." And it blinked 3 times. He caught it on video.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool. But I know one thing. I'm gonna go on that page, and I'm gonna check out the telepathy thing, and me and you, we're gonna be practicing, buddy. Just out of the blue one day, I'll be like, "What am I thinking about, Kevin?"
And then I'll just message you.
Hell yeah!
Did you just send me an image?
Did I?
Well, no, I'm just saying. I'm just in general. Yeah.
I'll be. You know what? That would be a good way to do it. Just be think something, say this is for you, Kevin, and then.
Yeah.
And then I'll be like, boom, and then I'll keep everybody updated on it. But that'd be a fun little thing. And you know what's another kind of weird thing? Oh, well, I got that's the person's head. I was going to say your image on here kind of looks like a one-eyed alien, but I think that's this person's head. But I know it's kind of sad not being able to look at your face tonight, Kevin. But
I know. Yeah, I know.
All right. Well, thanks for being on here tonight, Kevin. We sure loved you. Dirty and I both appreciate it. And you know what, everybody?
And keep it creepy. Yeah. Out in the woods where the shadows creep, I'm trying to find a legend that the people keep. Bigfoot's the name, got a story to tell. Footprints in the mud, can't you hear the bell? Whispers in the night, can you feel that chill? Bigfoot on the run, he's a legend, keep it real. Bigfoot, yeah, he's the talk of the town. Creeping through the trees, never wearing a frown. Legend of the forest, he's got a big stride. As the trap beats thump, you know he's got pride. Like I'm on a quest, searching for the homie, you know he's the best. Got my camera ready, heightened senses on blast. Snap a shot of Sasquatch, legend unsurpassed. Eyes in the dark, you can't catch what you can't see. King of the woods, living wild and free. Bigfoot, yeah, he's the talk of the town. Creeping through the trees, never wearing a frown. Legend of the forest, he's got a big stride. As the trap beats thump, you know he's got pride.